Hello there, Lynx here, and welcome to more of Katawa Shoujo. More of Katawa Shoujo. I guess that's celebration now, right? After Amy's track meet, successful track meet, and so on. Are you sure we want to go? The weather that has been wonderful for all of the June has finally taken a turn for the worse. The leaden clouds dropping over the town look worrisome, and the air feels heavy and still, just like before the rain. The forecast says there's a 60% chance of the rain this afternoon. Maybe this will mark the beginning of the rainy season.
Of course, I'm sure. I've been waiting for this all week.
Amy had planned a picnic at some nearby park, with snacks plenty bought from the convenience store, but with the weather this gloomy it seems risky.
I have some other people to come too, but they didn't want to go because of the weather. We have to prove them wrong.
Wrong how?
You know, like how it always rains when you think it won't, and when you think it will, it doesn't, will go, no matter what, so it's a win-win situation. I've been going without sweets for weeks because of practice for the track meet, but now I can splurge on anything I want. Nothing is going to stop me now.
I thought you were all about a healthy lifestyle and stuff.
Oh, it's how you understand so little. There is not a single girl on this planet who doesn't love sweets.
Is that so?
I don't like sweets. She doesn't count. Anyway, is this clear?
Completely? We'll go and eat our fill of sweets.
Damn straight we will. I'm going to have to work it off later, but it's so worth it.
Amy seems to be extremely determined about this. She's possibly exhilarated, brimming with energy as always, but something seems special today. It looks like she can hardly stop herself from jumping up and down on the spot.
Come on!
I grabbed the wooden handle of the umbrella I brought and start to follow the two girls, who seem to have no qualms about leaving behind if I keep daydreaming. My umbrella is really fancy, so he came prepared, just in case. Good job, Hisao. The old-fashioned kind with a curved handle and a metal spike at the end. Aren't they all with curved handle? It used to belong to my grandfather. It looks like an antique, but it's in really good shape, almost as good as new. Proves once again that stuff that's been done in the past is actually made to last for ages. Stuff that's made right now is like, let's not comment on its quality, right? It's really big too. I remember how my grandfather, my grandmother, and I all fit neatly under when a rainstorm caught us on the afternoon walk years ago, when I was around 9 or 10. My grandparents are both gone now, but I still have the umbrella to keep me dry when it rains. I mean, my family is kinda long living, so I have one full pair of grandparents and a grandma on the other side. Anyway, walk along the road leading down from the school towards the convenience store. The clouds casting their dark shadow down on us. The weather seems to be taking a turn for the worse, and I'm pretty sure I just felt a raindrop on my head. Did you girls think of taking umbrellas? It really looks like it will rain. Rin looks at her limply hanging sleeves and shrugs her shoulders. I mean, over here it would be kind of problematic.
I don't have one. Besides, a little rain won't kill us.
She pushes her chest out, looking very confident about that.
We aren't made of sugar.
I thought that's exactly what girls were made of, especially considering what you were planning to gorge yourself on today. She just sticks out her tongue in reply. The walk down from the school to the local shopping district is not a long one, but it's not very short either. It's all downhill, so our steps roll easily, but time stretches out nevertheless. The distance is right there, in that grey area where you don't expect the trip to be quickly over with, but you aren't preparing for a long walk either. Fus, the trip is slightly too long to stay comfortably quiet the whole time, for the girls don't seem to mind. Rin walks calmly ahead, seemingly lost in thought. I'm kind of worried about starting a conversation since the last time didn't end very well for either of us. I haven't exchanged a single word with her since then. Emi, on the other hand, is way too happy about just walking. She seems to literally jump a little on every step, or skip over cracks, or balance on the edge of the sidewalk. Every now and then, she comments on something to which she replies in an automatic sounding nonsensical way that makes Emi giggle a little. As we reach the bottom of the hill, the first raindrops begin to fall. I feel one hit the top of my head, then two more hit my nose in a quick succession. And it's there. It's not one or two rain clouds anymore. The entire sky has turned shadowy grey, billowing rain clouds swirling right on top of us.
Oh shoot! I guess we aren't going to have a picnic then.
What now?
Maybe we could have a rain picnic. A picnic in rain. No, we'd all just catch a cold and I don't like getting me or my snacks wet. I kind of like it. Not the snacks part though.
Emi considers our problematic situation for a moment while I open my umbrella and lift it up, trying to hold it so that all three of us get covered.
Hey, Hisao! Have you been to Shanghai yet?
It's a cafe somewhere around here, right? I've heard of it.
It's a nice place. Let's go there and wait out the rain. It's just a really quick shower. We can still go for a picnic, and if it gets worse, we'll just order cake there instead.
Neither Rin nor I have better ideas, so with Emi taking the lead, we start walking briskly along a side street. The cafe is only a few blocks away, but even with the umbrella we can't avoid getting slightly damp. The rain keeps coming down harder and harder. Raindrops leave tiny dots on the black asphalt road, which then combine into bigger patches like pointillist artwork being made in front of our eyes in mere seconds. It's pouring heavily, drumming on the hoods of the cars parked on the sides of the street and already flowing in little creeks along the sidewalks. The yellow light shining through the rainwater streaming down the windows look very warm and inviting. I shake the excess water of the umbrella and head inside with them, following Emi to a vacant table in the furthest corner of the small cafe. The place is almost full. Apparently other people had the same idea as Emi, and now we're all stranded together here in this cozy little place. Varnished wooden pillars and paper screens mixed with Parisian-style tables and chairs in discordant harmony, a contrast of old and new. It's crazy that this is literally the first time in this route we are here. It's Act 2. A light just plays quietly in the background, for it's mostly drowned out by the murmur of the customers. There's only one. The fact that it's light and it can be like put back behind the talking of the people is so great. Absolute opposite to how the stores in here work. Because stores in Poland are like, let's give them the shittiest music possible and force them to play them at full power. It's so annoying, man. So annoying. There is only one waiter serving the full house, frantically gliding from one table to another and trying to keep up with everything. To my surprise, I think I recognize her. I watch her deliver a tray of teacups and pastries to another table taken by Yamaku students, then take an order from a middle-aged couple sitting across from us before finally turning to serve us. Yuko! Now that she's close and faces me, I see that it really is her. The part-time librarian of Yamaku in full waitress attire. It's a pretty cute outfit and she has tied her hair up in buns to match. It's a completely different image from her mousy, plain style at her other job. Yuko blinks a few times looking confused, then remembers that she was about to say something.
Welcome to Shanghai.
So, you work here too? I thought you were a university student or something.
Yeah, but it's a part-time job, as you can see. It's Sunday, so there aren't any lectures.
Wait, what? Wait, that was... what? But you are in the library throughout the week. And you are... here... what? When does she study?
Good thing too, since today has been so busy I'm wishing for another pair of hands. Anyway, I'm in a bit of a rush, as you can see. What can I get you today?
Amy doesn't hesitate even for a second. Her eyes glitter like those of a kid in a candy store.
Tea for everyone! And cake for me!
Yuko tries to say as formal and professional looking as possible, smiling cheerily at my ravenous companion.
Oh yeah. Today we have a choice of strawberry shortcake, raspberry layer cake, or lemon meringue pie. Strawberry, no lemon. No, actually, I'll take both.
She looks at me in challenge. I'll just take the pie.
Nothing.
Amy makes a face at Rina as though she had bitten into a lemon. She's clearly unhappy with her not joining in.
Oh, come on, Rain. That's not polite at all. Nothing, thank you. No, you silly. I mean that you should order something too. I'll take the straw then. My feet are all wet. Sorry? The drinking kind of straw. One, please.
Yuko is obviously uncertain what to think about this. She fiddles with her pen and stationery for a moment, looking like she's about to cry before deciding that we finished ordering.
Thank you very much.
That was Rain's voice, but whatever. She bows down a little too deeply and scampers to safety behind the counter. After that ordeal is over with, I have a chance to relax a bit and take a better look at the surroundings. Almost every table is occupied by people happy to be out of the rain, thankfully sipping their tea while waiting to dry off. Fragments of grumbling about the lousy weather or discussions over recent homework carry from nearby tables to my ears. Each one overlaps the other, but all are covered by the sound of the falling rain. After a while, Yuko returns to our table, carrying a tray with a huge teapot, 3 cups, a slice of cake and 2 slices of pie. She slaps the tray onto our tiny table with a clatter, almost sending the teapot toppling over into Rain's lap. We barely recover before she bows again and leaves, hurrying off to serve other customers. Amy has been eyeing her strawberry cake very hungrily all this time, but somehow she managed to contain herself until Yuko was out of sight. She digs in with gusto, while I content myself with pouring tea for everyone and placing the straw in Rain's cup. Ray looks at the way the tea swirls around, and frowns in her white china cup, her eyes half closed, almost like she's being hypnotized. I pick up my fork and eye the food in front of me. The pie I got looks perfectly done, a thick layer of meringue atop creamy lemon custard. After having the first bite, I pause, savoring the combination of tangy citrus and smooth, sugary meringue. It's quite good, for a bit too sweet for me. She's talking through a mouthful of cake, already halfway through her slice, even though it's not exactly small.
Oh, did I some of that?
Before I got to respond, she strikes out at my delicious pie, takes a piece with her fork, and escapes with it.
This is pretty good too! What are you doing? You have a slice of your own. Yeah, but if I started on that before finishing the cake, it'd be rude, don't you think?
Her insolence is outrageous, but the gentleman in me allows for no retaliation. I glare angrily at her, and she replies by sticking out her tongue impishly. I mean, it's even more hyper than usual today, but I don't mind. It's good for her to let off some steam. I take another sip of the tea in my cup. It's cold. Damn it! It's good and hot. I wish. Even though I don't usually care much for tea, that's a lie, and the atmosphere in the cafe is very relaxing. I don't mind spending the rest of the afternoon here, not even after Emmy orders her second piece of strawberry cake and Rin spends most of the time staring fixedly at the rain streaming down from the heavens. Even you can rolls her eyes at the third piece of cake disappearing to Emmy's bottomless stomach just as quickly as the previous two. Damn, it's pouring there. Despite the passing of time, it's still raining outside when we exit the Shanghai, for it seems to be letting up a little, just a little. Too bad it had to rain on your parade.
Weren't we supposed to have a picnic?
Amy doesn't look too distraught over this turn of events.
No, it's fine. We had a good time, didn't we? I feel really pumped up. It isn't even raining that hard anymore. I can to hike back to school to get rid of the urgent work of some of that cake.
She stretches her arms out and arches her back like a cat. After rolling her shoulders around twice, she smiles brightly.
Man, I can't really run with these legs, for especially uphill. I wish I'd brought my other ones.
This notion sounds so outspoken, so casually, but I guess for Emmy changing legs is sort of like someone else changing shoes?
Maybe if I walk really fast, that'll be kinda like running. I think I'll do that.
I won't be able to keep up with that going uphill, for I really am in a bad shape, plus you'll get wet without an umbrella.
It's hardly even a drizzle now. A few drops won't hurt. I think I'm gonna go to the truck after I change my legs too.
Emmy skips away from the protection of my umbrella and goes on ahead at a brisk pace. Suddenly she seems to remember something as she stops and spins around.
See you tomorrow! Come and eat lunch with us on the roof. I'll bring enough for free.
Rin and I are left to watch her wave at us and skip off again. Soon she disappears round the street corner. I'll never understand why Emmy is perpetually in such a hurry to get somewhere. So, would you like me to walk you back to school so that at least one of you won't get wet?
If you are happy with it.
It seems neither of us wants to keep alive the strained atmosphere from the argument a few days ago in the art room, which makes me feel relieved. I don't want to bear grudges and I'm happy that Trini feels the same way. Thus, it is decided that we are content with each other's company for now, and we start walking the same direction as Emmy, albeit at a considerably calmer pace.
Another CG, yay!
I get a bit closer to Rin, even though the umbrella is already big enough to shelter us both. I can feel her nearby warmth providing contrast to the chill of this rainy weather. Which, you know, it makes me realize the umbrella I have is for some reason kinda humongous as well. But I don't have anyone to walk under with. Sad Lynx, whatever. Raindrops hitting the umbrella make a distinctive sound, playing the staccato melody of rainfall for nobody in particular. I realized I haven't been outside in the rain in what feels like forever. I inhale. I am outside a few times a day. I inhale, taking the scent of rain, feeling the weather with all my senses. The smell of the rain is nice, ain't it? The world melts to a blur inside the rain. The colors of the sky have deepened from grey to dark blue, with hues of red added to the mix from the sunlight reflecting off the clouds. The low-hanging sky looks pretty, as if I could reach out my hand and touch it.
Have I told you how much I like rain? It's like a painting. It makes me feel connected.
Almost echoing my thoughts, Rin lets out one of her own. It slips out her mouth, circling around us gently.
Everything looks so soft, like the outlines of things just disappear. I like that. It's like the rain is hugging me.
Her voice sounds different from usual, more gentle, now and soft. I wonder if it's only because of the rain, or because of the mood the rain brought upon the quiet artist girl. I feel that mood in myself too, enhanced by her words. Yeah, I like rainy weather too. It's nice every once in a while. I wonder what is it about the rain.
Everything.
A silence follows the statement, as it allows for no continuation. I decide to push the direction of the conversation a little, just a little. But you know, if you like the feeling of being connected, what's the problem with showing your paintings to others? I did not see that coming. Don't you want to be connected to other people?
It's not the same thing. You're comparing apples and squids.
I brought up the subject Rin wants to avoid, and it shuts her down again. The question stays hanging between us for the rest of the trip back to school, and I can't help wondering what on earth I could have said to truly reach Rin. Does she feel that she's lacking an identity? She has a strong personality, but if pressed to elaborate, I'm not sure I could describe it accurately. She feels like a person who is in constant conflict with herself. I never know what to expect when I talk to her. I wonder how she express... Where did the express come from? Somehow today is not a good day for reading. I wonder how she herself experiences that disconnect. If Rin is asking herself every day, who am I? And obsessively paints images to define herself day after day, what does she think of that way of living? The irony is, that's the exact same question I've been asking myself for the past 4 or 5 months. For me, it was miserable. I can only assume that is the natural state of being for this girl. Huh. When he stopped in front of the dormitory screen, Rin's face be, as if sensing my thoughts from afar. Her gaze travels empty past my left shoulder into the shapeless rainfall. Her dark eyes seem to suck the low ambient light into themselves, like a reverse mirror. But empty gaze lets nothing out. If I want to understand what's going on behind those eyes, I have to work it out myself. Rin opens her mouth, then closes it without saying anything. The silence lasts for a few more moments before she takes a step towards the dorm building door.
See you tomorrow.
And so we say our goodbyes. What a mysterious route, man. The next morning, like every second Monday morning until he says otherwise, I have the appointment with the nurse. They allow me to skip part of my first classes in the morning, and I don't feel any shame in skipping the rest either. Rather than being thankful I get to miss world history, I instead feel dread when I think about these appointments. I wake up at the normal time anyway, and wash myself in the bathroom I share with Kenji, tidying up my sleep disheveled hair. Wait, what? How does this dormitory work? I mean, you have rooms on the opposite sides, and somewhere there is also the bathroom, but it's not connected to the rooms, right? Because how would it be? Unless, like... No, it wouldn't. Or maybe it would. Like you would have rooms here. And then at the end there would be bathroom connecting both rooms. There would be actually a wall and it wouldn't be a corridor. I don't know, whatever. I could get dressed and put my laundry in the basket. I think bathroom is a completely separate... room over there, right? I mean, I think that's how it is in dormitories, at least. At least that's how it was in dormitories at my university, in which I didn't live, luckily enough. But, I mean, bathrooms were shared, and... I mean, but it wasn't only for 2 people. Anyway, I pack up for the school day. I have all my homework done, like usual, so I have a bit of free time now. There is no point in going to the morning class for 20 minutes before I have to get to the nurse's office, so I lie down on my bed and read a book until it's time to go. Or you could go to the nurse and don't skip classes. Crazy idea, I know. The door to the nurse's office is open, which is unusual. I enter while knocking to announce my arrival. Looking up from his computer screen, he motions me to take a seat with a friendly hello. Steam wafts up from a piping hot cup of coffee on his desk. It's probably not his first today. How are you feeling on this wonderful morning, Hisao? I'm alright, I think. It was cold yesterday because of the rain, so I woke up feeling a bit groggy. You too, quite a few kids caught without an umbrella, so been spending time handing out masks and carrying sniffles. See, just a bit of a running nose or whatever, and they are wearing masks. See? Alright, today it's test day. Give me your arm. I extend my left arm towards him, keeping my face expressionless. The nurse ties a rubber tourniquet around my bicep with a practice move and briskly goes about his business. I don't think anybody really likes getting stuck with needles, I don't mind. But at least I got over my distaste for them. I had to. Now I barely even twitch at the moment of truth. Once that's done, a blood pressure check follows. Then there are checklists and questionnaires to go through. The nurse notes and scribbles in my answers to the questions as I give them. Alright, let's have a listen now. Which makes me wonder, previously we didn't have the check on the blood, I believe. Whatever. I unbuttoned my shirt and put it neatly on the back of the chair. I was using while he puts on his stethoscope. I know by heart the order of places where he's going to listen to my lungs and heartbeat. I adjust my breathing to be even and deep without even being asked. It's become routine now for both of us. It's funny, this pretty much the only time in one's life when you really concentrate on breathing and nothing else. It has always amused me. Not really. I mean, I would say you also concentrate on that while doing exercising, but maybe that's my thinking. The nurse lifts the cold steel stethoscope from my chest and places it a few inches lower in standing again. The contact of the metal makes me flinch on reflex, even though I was expecting that. He furrows his brow, but I can't tell if it's because he is unhappy or if he's trying to pick something specific out among the complex multitude of irregularities in my heartbeat. Is there something wrong? Please don't talk. I stop and become more anxious. The nurse is nice, but I can't help disliking these mandatory checkups. I wonder if I'm going to end up hating all the medical appointments from now on because of this. He's not been working out. You are correct, man. He finally lifts the circular metal plate from my chest. Allow me to talk again. Everything seems to be fine. Are you feeling alright yourself? I suppose. I mean, I was out yesterday when it was raining. Yeah, I really felt a bit under the weather in the morning. Maybe I caught a cold? Were you with Amy? She came down with a cold too. My people told her to stay in bed for a day or two. Really? I mean, I was with her, but I didn't know she got sick. I guess it was a dumb thing after all, for her to go out in the rain like that. Yeah, well, let's put that aside. Everything seems to check out for you, but remember to be careful. Of course. I really don't want to go back to the hospital. He catches something, maybe repressed terror, I don't know, in my voice and glances up from some papers he was looking at. Hey, don't worry. At this stage, it would take a huge crash in your condition to get you re-hospitalized. It doesn't really reassure me, but grumbling about it to him won't make me any difference. I quietly take my leave. I like this guy. Walking along the corridor from the auxiliary building to the main school building, I encounter a young female nurse coming the other way. She smiles at me when we pass by each other. Hello? The lobby... Nurse Ruth, when? That nurse that we just passed by, when? The lobby is empty of people. No surprise, since classes are still going on. Unless it was some old hag, then please no. I hear muffled sounds of discussions coming from behind the first floor classroom doors. I glance at my watch. I'd have to rush to get to my classroom in time. And I don't feel like going to class anyway, so I decide to climb up the roof and have an extra long lunch break. Amy promised she'd bring something for me today, but if she's sick, that's probably not going to happen. I'm not feeling hungry anyway, so it's all the same. To climb up the steep stairwell to the roof is oddly liberating. Almost like losing weight. I feel satisfaction that it doesn't wind me as badly as it did the first time I came up here. I push open the squeak door at the top and step into sunlight. Oh yeah, you made the sound. Okay. There was the sound. Someone should oil those, really. The chain-link fence allows for a grand view over the treetops, all the way to the grey silhouettes of downtown further away. The dreary weather of yesterday is just a memory now. The silvery blue sky seems to be a mere arm's reach away. I forget for a moment that I'm in a bad mood. The warmth of the sun soaks into my bones, making me drowsy and lazy instead. The bells ring for lunch break, starting me back into reality. Soon afterwards, the quad below me bursts into life. Students pour out of the doors, down on the ground floor, intent on enjoying lunch at the quad and the lush gardens in this perfect weather. When I hear the door to the stairwell being pushed open, I don't bother turning to see who it is. The intruder starts coming towards me with uneven footsteps. The little river stones, their roof is covered with rattle and crunch underfoot. The footsteps stop a few feet behind me, followed by silence. I look upwards into the glowing eye of the sun, absorbing its warmth with my whole body.
What are you doing?
I turn around, out of courtesy at her first words, to behold the slim, awkward figure of Rin Tezuka. Tezuka Rin. She looks very much like herself today, too. Her hair is maybe a tad messier than usual, as if she just got out of bed. She stands with her wave shifted to one foot, looking at me with a mild curiosity, as if I were something in a store's display window. I don't know, just spacing out, I guess. What about you?
Amy promised food. We usually eat here.
I'm afraid you are going to be disappointed. Amy came down. I heard that Amy came down with a cold.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. She wasn't in the class.
It's not common to get a cold in June fall, right? You don't think she went running at the track afterwards like you said, right? Very and just kept going.
Probably.
In the rain.
In the rain.
Lynx also does that, by the way. That sounds like a bit too much for just keeping up with training resume. Amy is a hard-headed one, so I can see her running the downpour just because she had to. So, I've got to admit, I don't like going out to run while it's already raining. But I really like when I'm running and it starts raining over time. I like that. That's especially when it's super hot. Oh, like rain then is such a gift. Anyway, well, that's obviously overdoing it. Probably why she came down with that cold too. But I guess it's kinda cool.
Speaking of that, I'm not feeling well either. Hi.
Achoo! Rin sneezes pretty hard, failing to stop in time. She cranes her head down to wipe her nose on her shoulder, so deciding that would be too and ladylike, I pull out my handkerchief and hold to her nose. Here, bless you.
Thanks.
She clears her nose and I dab the handkerchief gently on it, wiping it clean. Her nose is really cute. Oh boy, never have I heard something like that. Oddly enough, it's probably the girliest part of Rin's face. What? I think I'm blushing a little, but Rin doesn't notice.
Thanks. I think I might be coming up down with something too, like I was saying.
Hope not. Rin doesn't seem to be bothered about eating, so despite the lack of Emmy provide lunch, we stay up on the rooftop. She comes over and stands next to me, right up against the fence, looking into the same abstract distance as I am. Nobody else seems to be coming around to intrude upon this calmness either. It's quiet and peaceful. What does one do on a lunch break, if not eat? It turns out that, between the two of us, we don't really know. Fortunately, passing time is an activity that manages itself just fine. Even though there is no conversation to fill the silence between the passing seconds, no pointless activities like cloud gazing to spend upon the minutes between now and then, time marches on relentlessly. I keep checking time on my watch, then decide it's a dumb thing to do. Instead, I try to hold out for as long as possible before I check again. Maybe I can hold out for 6 or 7 minutes. Rin remains silent, either looking up, at the cerulean expanse above us. I wonder why. More often than not, we don't speak much. She said that she doesn't like speaking because of her perceived difficulties with expressing herself properly. As for me, I think I just got sucked into the habit at the hospital where I spent such a long stretch of time, never really talking to anyone. Most of the time, I feel comfortable about this quiet mood. And even when I get the feeling that I had to break the silence, it's always so difficult to come up with something to talk about when it's with Rin. She and I are on such different wavelengths that nothing seems to be on common ground. Ain't it cool, for? I would say that means you two should have more to talk about, really. Kind of. Right? You can indulge into topics you don't know, and the other one knows. That's kinda cool, I would say. What is it you like about the sky so much? She turns to me, her eyes are arch and serious.
The sky is the only thing that is perfect. I know it. You could say I'm an expert of sky if you wanted. And I am even if you didn't want to. A sky expert. It's always different, but it's always perfect also when it's different.
I follow her gaze. Oh, I did not want to click there. I follow her gaze up into the boundless blue expanse, thinking of her words. Have you ever wanted to be something different?
It wouldn't be so bad to be the sky.
No, I mean someone else, someone different. To go to a normal school like everyone else, not to have to worry about stuff.
What stuff?
I try to find the right words for one, but can't manage to form a sentence that I'd be comfortable with actually using.
Man, I don't really want to say it out loud. Try. I'm not so good at mind reading.
Don't you ever want to be, not to be disabled? She thinks about this and then shakes her head, frowning.
That's a hard question. I don't know what to say.
It's okay if you don't say anything. For some reason, I'm just so unsatisfied with who I am right now that I'm constantly thinking stuff like that. It's pretty hard to admit it, but there it is. Yo, same. Honestly, I feel relieved about finally saying it out loud to someone, even if it's just Rin.
I think I want to be different sometimes. I thought about changing myself lately, but it's a bit scary. Like walking backwards with your eyes closed. The difficult part is to know where your toes are not pointing. I mean directions. Even if I don't do anything, I would never stay the same. It's like my old paintings. They are different than what I paint now, because I'm different. But they are still my paintings, so there's something same. That's really strange. I'm different every day, but I'm still me every day. Who am I then?
Is that a riddle?
If you want it to be. I know the right answer for, so you have to come up with it yourself.
Well, is the sky, ain't it? Going by your definition just now. I actually managed to surprise her by that. Maybe she had already forgotten about it.
That's right. But I was thinking about myself when I said that. Very strange. Could it be that I actually am the sky?
I don't think that's possible. Your logic's a bit off somewhere. She looks down and shuts up, and I can see she's quickly going over the deduction mentally, seemingly unhappy with the result she finally arrives at.
Yeah, maybe I'm not the sky. Would make sense. I have a hard time knowing what kind of person I am.
You're not the only one.
It's like my mind is in some other place than the rest of me.
Underwater.
Yeah, I wonder how it got there.
I have no answer, so a brief silence falls between us for a moment. I shift my gaze back to the sky above us. The last time I really paid much. Now that I think about it, in Rin's roots, there is a lot of this. Like, you get actually a wall of text. The last time I really paid much attention to the sky was... I guess it must have been at the hospital. In my case, it must have been yesterday when I was running. I mean, I basically look ahead and see the sky. That's how it works. Anyway, I could only see a thin strip of the sky from the windows of my room. If I walked up to the windows and pressed my face against the cold glass, the strip became bigger, but not by much. That sky made me feel sad and lonely, a reminder of the world on the other side. I wonder if there is another world beyond the sky we see from up here on the school's roof as well. I can't stop comparing life and Yamaku to my hospitalization, but I really should. I'm not there anymore. The narrow sky from the window, my hospital room, the faces of the doctors, the faces of my parents, the off-white walls everywhere, Iwanako's letter echoing the words she never said, they are things of the past now. I wish I could forget everything up until now, and that time would stop completely. There would be only me, Rin, and the sky, an eternal lunch break on this rooftop, perfect, unchanging, and forever. I'm not sure if I like or hate this school.
I could have gone to a normal school if I wanted to, but I chose to come here.
Why?
I just decided I would. Kind of like melon on prom jelly.
Do you think it was a good idea? I mean, there are a lot of good things about this school, but I think there are a few bad things also.
I know. I kind of collect people, because they are interesting. People here are amazing. Most of them, but not all. Some people can't take it. They hurt too much. It gets really bad sometimes, you know, they hurt. I wonder if you're like that too. I hope not. I don't like things like that.
Hey, I'm not your case study. I'm not going to give up and die or anything. Anyway, I mean, more than this place is too distant from the real world.
What's the real world?
Everything out there, people with normal everyday lives that fit together like a puzzle.
You don't think we aren't like that? Real people?
Maybe we aren't. Well, no, we are. I just meant that it feels more like we're the leftover pieces. Rin thinks for a while, her almond-shaped eyes narrowing as she bites her lip a little bit like a child.
Is it hard to be disabled?
Her question earns a dry chuckle from me. You tell me, you've been in this business a lot longer than I have, right? She thinks about that for another while.
I don't really feel that disabled. I mean, I do pretty much everything differently, but it's not that hard. I can always practice. I started to practice food things this year. I think I'd want to learn to cook in a real kitchen someday.
That's admirable, but I don't think it's just a state of mind.
Maybe not to you.
I have no good counter to that, so I concede by falling silent. The situations make me more and more confused. I know what I want, but wait a second. I've started to practice food things this year. What do you mean by that? I'd want to learn to cook in real kitchen someday. What does she mean about practicing food things? I know what I want, but don't know how to reach it. Oh boy, same. Rin seems to believe she can simply will herself into the shape she thinks she needs to be, but can't decide whether she wants to be a bird or a butterfly.
I think in the end I'm not really that happy with who I am either, but that doesn't mean I regret being who I am. That's the thing that's wrong with you, Hisao.
I've only started to process that rather blunt statement before Rin suddenly hugs me. What are they? I've never been hugged by a girl with no arms before. I understand. To be honest, it doesn't really physically feel like a hug. The awkward way she pressed her body against mine and the lack of embracing arms makes it feel like she fell on top of me. But the warmth of a real hug is still there, and that's how I recognize it for what it is.
I'm hugging you, Hisao.
I know that, but...
Is it wrong? I thought this is what you're supposed to do. I'm not really used to this kind of thing. The first time Amy hugged me, I got surprised and kicked her in the stomach. I can kick pretty hard, so she has been hugging me an awful lot after that.
It's a drunk. It's just me. Things are a bit hard for me for the time being. I can't seem to react properly to anything.
Really? So is it hard being disabled after all?
I guess she has me cornered here. I don't have the energy to start arguing against it, but I feel like I have to get something out. Well, no, it's not hard. I think it'd just be overthinking things. I really wish I didn't feel so sorry for myself all the time. I wonder if I always was this fragile, or if I became this way after my incident. Nothing had ever truly shaken my world like that before, so there is no telling. I didn't press her cheek against me tightly. I can feel her warmth of her body close against me. Her body temperature feels really high, as if she had absorbed the sunlight to herself and was now sharing with me, or perhaps it's a natural state for her. Or she really is getting sick. It's the most comforting thing I've felt in a long time.
Wow, your heartbeat really does sound really weird. It's like a drunken percussion orchestra.
Please don't say stuff like that, I got very uncomfortable. I laughed at her comment anyway, in an attempt to ease the tension. It sounds a little bit too forced. Man, I'm sorry, I'm such a mess.
It's okay. It's the best part of you.
Huh? Hearing that doesn't make me happy. She breaks off the hug and settles down. An awkward silence falls upon us like a blanket. Me feeling embarrassed about myself and then trying to arrange her expression to something she likes. But last time I glance upwards. This rooftop is really great. It's like I'm just a little bit closer to the sky.
I know a better place, but we can't go there on lunch break. I can take you there sometime you want.
The bell rings for the beginning of the afternoon classes, and Rin stands up to make her way downstairs. I don't hurry after her, decide to stay up here for just a while longer. Thanks for the hug.
Thanks for not kicking me.
After Rin leaves, I found tears roll down my cheeks and cry for my condition for the first and only time in my life. Then I cast away that hollow person lying on the hospital bed forever. Good. He's able to move on. We'll see how this goes in the next episode. For now, hope you enjoyed, hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.